Myths and legends, gods and goddesses. Some stories we know as lore. Religious texts I interpret differently. They tell us what we're to think of them, often warning of pending judgment. There are those who take with a grain of salt the way these texts affect their brain, see them closer to lore, or at best, to be taken non-literal, unlike creationists. Interestingly, the books themselves warn of believing other than they tell. I respect one's choice and belief. Of course, they may choose to see things differently. I prefer to take as fables those with such descriptive labels, and take others that say they are true, that in truth it is how I'm to view. So when I do not trust what it condones, I also will choose to leave that book alone. If it instead stated it's a collection of stories, poems, anecdotal human struggle and glory, I'd have no trouble understanding its pages, no guide to my daily living. When converted as an adult to Christianity, through its pages I was warned to heed seriously where I and my family would spend eternity. Carefully taking heed, I changed life decisions, placed its teachings higher than my intuition, was willing to be mocked, scorned, for it stated, those not in love with its teachings would hate me. Aligning myself with Jesus and his words, believing he had lived here upon earth, sacrificed for the many sins I had done, not worship idols as he is the only true one. Be like a child accepting these teachings, quarter of a decade later trying to hold true, abandoned, forsaken, abused, never rescued. With trepidation I began again to think for myself. Overgiven to takers had greatly affected my health. That was the start my life I've reclaimed. No longer accept suffering as any way to live. I see it now as a book of deception. Its contents teach love mixed with oppression. Then tell me light and darkness do not mix. Bad fruit can't come from a tree not rotten. So upon its own discriminating factors, I've proven it untrue as a holy book to act on. Instinctively, we all know what is right or wrong. With some variations, a spectrum default. Lack of clones, the good result. Trust no text or story that tells you not to trust yourself, putting you at the mercy of its supposable unquestionable truth. Blind faith, if it requires, beware, for the desire. Whoever really its writers control your life takeover. Telling you to be okay, live for the life on the way. Shame and confusion leave when you leave behind its teachings.